Hello and welcome, you amazing person. My name is Rob. I'm the Manic Gaming Guy. In today's video, we're going to be making a map in BeamNG.d. You may have seen my videos before, me making maps after maps after maps and never really completing one. Well, hopefully this series is going to be a bit different because I'm going to be making a sort of Ultra HD sort of map. Normally the pixels are 1 meter apart. Size, however you want to phrase it, and I'm going to be making them smaller so the detail on the map can be a lot more extreme and beautiful looking. But first of all, we need to set the map up. So let's do that, shall we? This video will be sort of a tutorial documentary. So you're going to be watching me go through. I'm going to be showing you things I do know, and we're going to be experimenting and learning together some things that we may not already know. I've never seen this done before, so it's going to be a bit of an experiment. I have done a bit of a pre-test to make sure it is sort of possible, so we're not wasting anyone's time. It is possible. I drove the car around. The car feels fine. So let's get into it, shall we? If you do like this sort of thing, do feel free to hit the like button and subscribe for more further content from yours truly. Step 1 to building your desired map is to make your map, as in the files, the folders, the creme de la creme that makes it possible. We're going to be doing this by starting by opening grid. Easy. Or any other map, really doesn't matter. When you're in your desired map, which grid is the best one to pick because it loads the fastest, push F11 and get World Editor up. Once you have opened World Editor, go to the top left and hit New Level or File and New Level. And this options will come up. To get this right, you want to put your new map name in here. This one's going to be Skid Row. I bet there's already a map called Skid Row, but we're going to call it Skid Row. I don't know where I've got that from. Where have I got that from? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you do. But basically, we're going to hit create and then open. And it's going to open our new map up. Just like that, in seconds, we have our new map loaded. As you can already see, there's already bits here. It's because this is a test file map and it's missing lots of things that we are going to have to add. And also, this terrain is not what we want. So we're going to have to change that. To tell you the truth, it's actually quite nice terrain. I wonder if anyone's actually made a really good map out of this before. So, next steps is to close BeamNG. Hit the save button just to be safe. There we go. That's saved to the levels folder. And now we need to do some things to make sure it shows up in BeamNG and to give us some more assets. Luckily, assets are a bit more easier now. We're going to be using a program you can download. But I'll show you that in a minute. Hopefully this is causing some retention for you all, because you're going to see in no time a new map start to appear with some cool, crazy, epic details. I'll show you what I mean with this map first. When you go to paint something, let's say we're doing beach sand. Let's just make sure it's all grass first. There we go. And we're going to go beach sand, and let's say some squares. There we go. The detail, we should be able to, if I do a curved, it's not really showing the edges properly, is it? Let's try this one. It's not really showing a jaggedy. Basically, they are. Look, they see how jaggedy they are. They've got jaggedy edges. They're not as smooth and pretty or as detailed as we're going to be having it. And also, when it comes to doing stuff like this. See the jaggedy edges on the edge? That's because that's the pixels. The pixels are only 1 meter long. So you don't get beautiful edges. Look, obviously that one's stretched out a bit further. But yeah, it's a bit rough. It's not perfectly smooth. It's a bit jankety. And you can feel it when trying to make maps sometimes in BeamNG. And hopefully we're going to be trying to solve that and fixing it by changing the pixel size and making it smaller. So yeah, close BeamNG and we're on to our next steps. So the next step is going to be finding our map. Now you would think it would be in mods because that's what you're doing, you're creating a mod. But it's not, it's going to be in levels. This is in the BeamNG folder. You can find it in documents. The easy way to find it is probably to go into Steam, right click on the Steam name, and you can go manage folders or whatever, and it'll bring up this folder quick and easy. And then I'll recommend saving this to the shortlist, pinning it to the side somewhere so you can get to it a lot quicker in the future. But anyway, we're going to go to levels, and we're going to find the new map that we named called Skid Row, and there it is. Beautiful. Now, what we got to do is put this also into the mod folder. So if we go back, there's the mod folder. I like to right click on that, open a new window just so I can see it all. And then we go into Unpacked. We're not going to find Skid Row in here. That's a bit upsetting. So we go back into levels. We click Skid Row, and then we'll copy it into here. But the thing is, you also want it in its own levels folder and in Skid Row. So we go create a new folder called levels, right? Because if you click on this, it just goes straight into the file, and that's not good enough for us. So we need to put Skid Row into levels, and then we can use F2 to highlight this and copy it, go back and make a new folder, and that's going to be called Skid Row again, and then grab the levels and put that into Skid Row. Right, did I just put that into the wrong one? No, I did not. So now when we click on Skid Row, it goes into levels and then into Skid Row, blah, blah, blah. That's how the file needs to be for it to be registered by BeamNG. If it's just Skid Row into the other folders, it would not work. So we're going to now drag this and copy it into Unpacked, because it's not zipped folder. If it was zipped, we'd put it into the other one, but obviously we're working with unzipped folders. Right, so now that's in there. Actually, we probably didn't have to do that straight away. It don't matter. You can do this now, and your map's showing up, and you can do some bits. But we want to put some assets into it. For that to work, we're going to be using another program. Hello, it's my face again, halfway through a video. Don't normally get that sort of content, but hopefully we'll do more of it for you. Please ignore the junk in the back. The amount of times I tidy this place and it just gets messy again, it is unreal. If you enjoyed the video so far, I think it's probably only been about 1 minute. Who knows? I've been sat here for about an hour. Haha! Do like and subscribe, please. Make my channel grow a bit bigger and faster. Yes, a little disclaimer here coming up in the video. We're just about to use a third-party program to help put assets into BeamNG folder files from another BeamNG level. It isn't a normal registered program. You're not going to find it on Microsoft, so it hasn't been virus checked already. I did install it and give it a virus check. It came up all clean, but it is a discrepancy when it comes to downloading programs from a random person. Always be careful installing .exe files, because they can change and do all sorts to your PCs without you really realizing what's going on. If you do something like that and you realize your frames per second and stuff start tanking after downloading a random program, it's because it's using your computer probably to do some data mining or some other legal activities. Now, data mining is legal, but not for your own computer. You know what I mean, they're stealing your stuff. Anyway, we're going to jump over to the next bit now, where I talk about this other program and use it to transfer assets into my folders. Lovely stuff. So yeah, I kind of missed a step there. This doesn't need to be in here just yet, so we can delete that. Not a problem. What we want is a secondary folder. I do have something here. Yeah, I'm going to be copying from driver training. This is a level in BeamNG. Don't worry about having to go find the level. The app, if you're using the program I'm just about to show you, all the assets you need and can be transferred over from just with a click of a button, basically. I'll show you in a minute. What we do want to do though is copy this one into this file so it's ready for mocking about. The program we use does recommend that we do this. So what we're going to be using is a thing called the BeamNG level cleanup for transferring the assets to our map. Like I said, this is a third-party program thingamabob, so be careful, use on your own caution, blah, 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 blah. Nothing's at my fault if anything does happen, but it does seem very trustworthy, and he did comment on some other YouTuber's person, so he's not trying to hide behind some walls or anything. And if he watches this video, hello, hope you're doing well, thanks for the program. If you want some pointers and things to help improve it, just let me know and I'll share some, because I think there's some things that we can do to make it a little bit better, but I'm loving it so far. Very, very useful. Anyway, jump back into the video. Haha. So yeah, program, there'll be the link in the description. Just download it, install it, you'll get a warning popping up saying you're changing Windows stuff. You have to click yes and go past all that and ignore it. And once you do that, you'll have this folder and it will give you some descriptions of how to do this. But if you're watching the video, it's almost just copy me sort of jobby. So this is the program that we're going to be looking at. These are the files that we're going to be playing with. This is the stuff it can do. It can map shrink. I've not used this yet, but I think I'll probably try that when I've finished a map. I'm hoping it'll just get rid of assets you've not used and stuff. I don't really know. You can also use it to rename a map. Say you want to take West Coast and do alterations to it, make it completely your own map. You can change the name and do some bits and bobs that way. And this is what we're going to be using: copying assets, convert assets to forest items. I don't know how to do this yet. I want to learn how to do that. That'll be quite useful. If there's other videos out there, please let us know. And the utilities one, I'm not really too sure about that one yet. We'll look into it in the future. But this is what we're going to be using anyway. This is the copy assets. Right, if you're like me, you've got the asset already in a separate folder. I've not done it this way. Probably just copy my way. Because you just say, you can just grab it like this. But I don't know if they're creating a new folder somewhere else for you. I hope they are. I'm not sure because it gives you a warning saying it's going to unzip it and do stuff. So have a separate one so they break the game. Basically, let's go through it. Let's go to desktop and let's find the file that we want first, which is going to be the file we're pulling assets from. Select the zip file or copy from assetness. There we go. Driver training. Open. It's quite quick. Does it very fast. There we go. Files all ready. And then we want to give it our target folder. Now ours is not zipped, so we need to choose this one down here. We need to choose the Skid Row. It's always taking us to the right place. Select folder. If everything comes up all yellow and green and blue, we're all good. Files are ready to be copied. Now you can select your own individual files if you wish, or you could just do a mass file grab, which is what I'm going to do. Some people maybe recommend not doing this. But yeah, we're just going to hit this button and hope we get much as possible out of the game. I do believe some things like the trees didn't work when I did this, and possibly something else, but the road did. The decals for the roads, they worked, so that's lovely, and hopefully it does transfer the trees over. We will find out shortly. But we're basically going to hit this little copy asset button down here. Do you really want to copy? We do. So that's the assets copied over. It's done some duplication things, got rid of those. It will give you a log report as well, telling you about the ones that didn't work or whatever. But I'm guessing it's still work in progress, this app, and I'm hoping it will just get better and better. And then maybe BeamNG would take it on themselves to give it the certification so everyone can go use it and feel free and happy. Actually, I do wonder if it's on the BeamNG moderated thing. Yeah, I think that was one of the things that didn't transfer over. The terrains. I never got the terrains. So there are some bits we do want to be putting in here. So what I'm going to do is just grab one of my older maps because it's got stuff in there, or I can just open up the driving Italian map again and copy things from there if I wanted to. And let me just get that all ready. So what I'm going to do now, I've got two folders open. This is HD test, one I did earlier on, testing the stuff out. So I want to get the terrain stuff from here. So go into terrain, got into this one. I want to highlight and copy everything in this folder. Drag it over. Right, cancel that. Yeah, cancel that. Are you sure you want to cancel? Yeah, because I didn't mean to drag it all over. Put it all back in. Oh no, I've done something wrong. Let me fix this. Yeah, so what I've done is broke my files. That's classic. Luckily, there was a backup folder, wasn't it? So all I'm going to do is basically just delete these two here and restart the process of transferring the assets over again, and I'll catch back up with you after that. Oh, right, so I'm back up to this point. So basically I want to copy it, not move it. So that was stupid. I should have just moved it back over rather than pushing Control Z. That obviously clearly broke it. Alright, time to sip my tea. Right, so we've copied them over. We want to click on this Notepad++, download it, it's free if you haven't got it, and we're going to edit some of the details in here, but don't do it just yet, because we got others to do. Just open it and have it ready. Now another one I like to do is trees. Even though the app did trees for us, if you open up the file, it does throw in an extra file in between. I don't know if BeamNG likes it or whatever, so I basically just Replace them still with my own ones. Remember to copy them over. Don't steal them and break other games. Replace these files. Always hit replace files. And then click on this thing. That's not that important. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Now we click on these. We're going to have to do this to each and every one of these. I'm not sure how important it is. What's that now doing in there? Oh, because it didn't get rid of it, did it? I've got double amount of trees now I've done this. I think I have, you know. Yeah, so I can probably go back through and delete all them at some point. It don't really matter too much at this point. But basically I want to open up all of these files. Right, I'm pretty sure that's all I need to grab. What's it, something to do with forest data? Maybe something to do with the forest data as well. That can probably be pulled over. I don't think that's too much of a problem. If I can find the right one that I was just using. Here we go. Forest. No, not that one. Art. Forest. That one. And copy this over as well. Replace. And then open up that in the thingbobs. Yeah, lovely. Right, then the next stage. We're going to simply find, what I might have to do is a couple of times because of the map names. So anything with the map name that you just copied from, maybe you copied from West Coast or whatever, you want to highlight that. Hit this replace button and you want to change this to your new map name, which ours is Skid Row. So I can literally copy it. So we've got word for word, letter for letter. Put that in there. So everything called Big House UK now is going to change to Skid Row. We're going to replace all documents, not just the one in here. Right, so you're saved. You can be gone. You've not been touched. You've been gone, so you can go. You've been altered, so you can go. You've been altered, so you can go. I think you can just multi-save all of them, but I want to find which ones weren't from that map, because I've took from several maps now because of the incident that we had. So yeah, there we go. So it's just the one that's left over, and that doesn't mention any map names, so that's fine. You do, so let's change this one to Skid Row sound. Replace all in whatever documents. Lovely. You can also multi-save if you feel confident enough. So right, that's now all ready. So now we need to take this file here, and we need to go into our BeamNG folder, levels. So here's our very original folder, file, whatever. We can now move this over to here. Please tell me that worked. Maybe I should have copied it. Let me have a look. What we changed, we went into terrain. Oh, it has got all the terrains in. I think that worked perfectly fine, apparently. Everything says Skid Row. Right. That really freaked me out. Normally it gives you some sort of warning saying replace, but instead it just let it go straight in there, and I'm perfectly happy with it. But anyway, we now need to go into the mods folder again. Open a new window. Unpacked. Go into levels. Get Skid Row. Copy it into the unpacked. The levels basically, whenever you do replace these files. Skid Row, yeah. Whenever you alter the map in BeamNG in World Editor, and all the changes you make are going to save to the levels folder in here, and it won't edit the mod folder. When you finish the map, you have to transfer these files from here into here, like I was just done, and hit replace the files, and it will actually update all the changes that you've made. If you don't do that and you try and share a map with someone, they're just going to get the original template map. Right. Nothing straightforward in life, is it, really? Nothing whatsoever. Now we need to go into BeamNG, and fingers crossed I've done everything right, and the map is showing. It might show in the debug window, by the way. If it does show straight away, well, I'll just show you, I guess. What's the point of talking about it? Oh, let's go to the game. Why do you want to watch my face look at things? Oh, my days. Anyway, so, free roam. Yeah, just as I thought, it shouldn't be shown on this map, on this area just yet. It might show up because it was the last used or whatever. That's been their new update. But hopefully now I'll click this button. Skid Row, there it is, template map. let's have a look, shall we? Woohoo! Well, the map's still here, so that's a bonus. Good start there. Let's have a look at World Editor and see if we've got some new toys to play with. I'd say by the looks of the assets, we've definitely got some new toys to play with. There's quite a lot, 9,000. Seems a bit excessive, that. But okay, probably because we've got a double amount of trees. The forestry will need to be upgraded, but there we go. The mesh. Last time I had to input all the meshes in myself, so that's beautiful. They're all showing. That's probably because I did the file copying us. So we do need to make some new forestry tools, so that'll be a video to come up. Okay, brilliant. Assets. So should we have a look? See if we've got some buildings or anything, see if they've worked. Shapes, buildings. See, it's in a weird folder, but it looks like they're working to me. I definitely want some stadium lights. That's why I chose this map, because we're going to do like a little drift track. Hopefully a flat drift track with some canyons and some buildings, so that'd be nice. I'm going to try and keep it small as possible, make it all enclosed so the frames per second don't drop when we go crazy with the detail. So right, what else do we need to check? Decals, did they work? Put that down, white one. My test would be to put wet. And yes, we got wet road, so that's lovely. They worked. So basically, the assets transfers has worked. Now, time to make it our own. We're not going to be using this island. We need to make a new height map. We're not going to make a crazy one of all different terrain styles. I'm just going to make a flat one, just so you know how to do that. So let's hit save for now. Why not? Even though we've not really done anything. We can close BeamNG again. Yeah, I guess. You don't have to. If your computer's fast enough, you can do this bit without it. But for the sake of it, I'm going to close my BeamNG. Right, for the next step, we're going to be using GIMP. Or YIMP, I think it's actually meant to be pronounced. This is a free photo editing software. So now you got that software ready. I'll try and put all the links in the download of things you're going to be needing, I guess, to try and help you out. These files are winding me up. Let's just close them. Right, good stuff. Right, now we probably actually needed one of those files. Let's go find it again. Mods. It don't really matter which one, I think, you change. We'll change one of the levels. Why not? Skid Row. And then we want to find this file here, skidrow.tear.depth. Now this is like a height map. Notice it says dark is deep, grayscale, no alpha colors. So what it means is the black to white. This is your grayscale, no alpha colors. And this is your height. This is the very highest is white and the very lowest is dark. So I don't want to choose it completely black because then you've got no depth that you can use. I like to go up just a little bit. And then this would be underneath my terrain and this would be above my terrain. Hit OK, hit the fill button, make sure it's filling the whole section, blah, blah, blah. Now that that's done, we also want to go to image. And then, or do we keep it the same size? I can't remember this bit now. Oh, this is a bit where it comes to trial and error. So you've got the canvas size. It already is 2048, which is like the half medium sort of size. We can go 1026 if we wanted to. I can't remember what I chose last time. I already made one of these, and let me go find out, see what I did that as. Okay, fine, yeah, get them exactly the same size, so that's no problems there. So all you got to do, once you've got your whole grayscale, if you want to do terrain thingness, you can also paint on here, and you can make your own height map. Or go to Google and just print your own height map from the real world. Always a fun one. Or you can even use city skylines to create height maps. There we go. Maybe that'll be a video one day. Do you want me to create a height map using city skylines? Right, we're going to overwrite this file. Done. That's it. We can exit this thing. We don't need to have it open anymore. Now we're going in here. This file is the new one. No, this is the other test map. This file is now going to be changed to the new height map. So let's go back into BeamNG and get this one ready. But yeah, that literally took seconds. I could have even just copied and pasted that file over, but I wanted to show you guys how to make your own one and how to get your own height levels right, because maybe you want the height terrain to be right at the top because you're planning to do a big crater map. Who knows? I'm not the guy to tell you how to really do things, and to show you how it is possible, and you use your own imagination to take it a bit step further. So yeah, I didn't actually have to close BeamNG. What a waste of time that was. Like and subscribe. And we're back. I know not much has changed, but push F11 and we're going to change the terrain. Definitely something wrong with my BeamNG files. That took way longer than it should have done. I also can't alter things. It just keeps reforming back to how it was. So I've definitely changed something in the files. But oh well, let's progress. So we don't want this terrain anymore. We want our own one, which is going to be more high definition detailed. Woohoo! Okay, so what we want to do is click on the terrain tools and click import terrain. I know, easy as that. Change the height to what you want. I used to put mine at like 5,000. I have loads of height, no reason why. But then someone told me in some variation of words. Basically, I ruined the maps because I've stretched out those pixels too much. So I'm going to keep it 500. It seems like a nice number to work with. And we're going to find that file we just altered. Lovely. And import that in. This thing, meters per pixel. This is what we're changing to make it more high detailed. We're going to put 0.1. So 10% more detailed. Is that like 1,000% more detailed? I don't know. Basically, where we had a meter pixel, now it's like just 10% of that pixel. 10% of that size is a pixel. So like 10 centimeters is now, or is it 100? No, yeah, 10 centimeters is now the 1 pixel rather than 100 centimeters. Blah, 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 blah. Let's import that map. And then actually I'm going to hit pause first with the J button and then import the map. Otherwise the car will just fall, which is always a classic thing. And there it is. There's our new block of terrain. Let's select that thing and let's bring it over. Whoosh. And then whoosh, there's the car. Now, these bushes are always a pain. I don't think they delete. So I just recommend put your terrain a bit higher than them bushes. Why not? You can even maybe put them right to the end of the map or something. I don't really want them to be visible. They just trying to do my knot in. So let's just put them over there and hopefully I won't alter the map too far down in this area because I don't want to see them again. And once you've done that, you can click your clarness. Can we use real words, please, Rob? Select your clarness, hit the magnet, scroll it up, boom. It's now on top of the map. Do the same with the start positions. There should be a little... Yeah, I did it. Okay, got it. Right, so they're all in place. We can hit save. And then you notice there's a big texture sign. It is not happy. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. What we're going to do is go back to the terrain tool, go on terrain painter, and then we're going to add a terrain material. And we actually got a few set up. Huh. Oh, so this is what I've copied and pasted. So when I copied it from the map, it actually worked. So that's interesting. How did that... Don't normally work as well as that. So delete the warning material after putting your new one on. And this is now all road material. Lovely. Normally, obviously, you would not do that. You'd have grass as your main material. Can I swap them around? Cool. Let's just delete that one and then add it back. Cool. It's called road grass because this is meant to have the detailed grass on to help hide rough lines. This is a technique we normally use in the BeamNG world. But this map is technically like still 2048 pixels across, but it's not very wide. And now when we go into our paint tools, you'll see that normally you're going to get the paint tool to about this big. And we're still at 20. We can go to very small indeed. Very small. Okay, so we can have this much kind of detail, which is a lot more detailed than you get previously in other BeamNGs. We can do some nice editing like that. See how smooth and sharp that looks? Beautiful. Let's just get rid of those little things for now though. Next stage, we probably need to sort the grass out. I bet the grass is too big looking. I'm not looking at the main grass, I'm looking at the texture on the floor. It's definitely got some sort of anomalies going on. Let's try and sort that by going to the terrain material library. If we click on the grass, we can see the size of things, the size of the macros and that. The detail's free. Let's put the detail to 1. I don't know why the macro size is bigger. We're going to put that down to 1 as well. Detail distance. We'll put that as 500. Why not? You probably could just be the same. Why not? I don't know 100% what I'm doing in this area. Normals is to help with the light transferness. Diffuser size, I don't know why it's different to any of these sizes, so let's put them down to 1 as well. Save changes, and the grass is now changed. It looks a lot more smaller, a bit more detailed. I'm not too fond of the color, but it's something we can change in the future. This is also how we add more materials. Okay, you ready? So we've got a road material. So let's say we want... We've already got beach sand material. Don't really need more sand, do we? We can make another road. We can make a grip road if you want. So all you do is you hit the material librariness. You name your road. Do I really need a grip road? I really don't need it, but to put it in, why not? Grip road. And then you choose a ground model. So if you had grass, it would act like you're driving on grass. It would act like you're driving on rocks, or if you're driving on snow, blah, blah, blah. This is how the car knows what you're driving on. Frictionless. So what's that? Just full on grip. That would be mental. And then obviously you've got the prep road, which is the grip road. Blah, blah, blah. And then you set these up by going through all of these and finding. So we've got the diffuse. So just the B logo would do. This is set up for the more detailed textures that you can have, which I don't bother doing at the moment because it's a lot more effort. Maybe one day in the future. And then the macro, there's a T macro asphalt somewhere. There we go. Choose the B again. Lovely. And then we've got the details. Let's not choose the macro again. Let's choose detail of a different one because I've already used the other one, blah, blah, blah. And then the norms is going to be whatever's the blue one. There we go. Lovely. And then we need to set our own sizes up again. So we're just going to go for 1 on all of these because it's super high detailed map. 500, sure, 500 because you don't want things to phase out. Put 0.1 like we did with the grass and whatnot. Macro strength probably doesn't need to be that big. Oh, I wonder what it was on the grass. Good point. Right, then we can add material. And then we go in here. And then it's going to be here. Grip road. Do its thing. And now we can make this bigger. And this road's going to be super grippy. Lots of grip. There we go. So that's how it's done. And it's really good detail. Look at the detail. It's so small. That's what you should expect. Oh, yeah. Let the car hit the road. And look at that, fine detail. Right, what's the next step then? Let me have a think. In the future, when I've got like a rough idea where my roads are going, I can export this whole terrain texture into like Blender or something. Cover it with a grass that doesn't repeat. It just kind of changes the geometry changes or whatever. So you don't get lines like this. And then I'd save that and replace the texture grass with a base text, which would be the whole size of this, and then when you paint on it, it will all come out looking nice. And you just got to worry about terrain grip and things like that, and then hopefully not have to move a road because then you have to go through the whole process again. But that'll be something in the future. Now let's put some things down and test the quality of the map so we see how high detailed it really is. There we go, just dragged a couple bits in, draw some road in, put some lights on or whatever. Looks quite cool. I don't want to take it any too further because there's lots of things I'm going to start doing which are like tutorial based stuff. I don't know if I need to show any more in this video. I've got loads more ideas, like I want to set out the road and things. I want to put out some trees, get them all set up, make sure all the details are working before we start carving this into what we want. But basically, just so you know, for future videos, we're going to be building a drift track around this sort of area, maybe like an L-shaped one. And then around the edge, I'm thinking I'm going to build it up so we can have some sort of hillside drift track. Maybe like one easy route to go up, and then like a fun way to go down it. And then you can just keep going up and around, which would be quite fun. But yeah, I'm going to probably have the basics done in the background or something. I don't know, because it takes quite a while terraforming stuff, especially now I've made it super small and all my tools will be super small too. So 250 normally is a big tool. As you can see, it's not a big tool when it's on a map this small. But I'll tell you what, actually it does go up quite fast, so that's nice to see. Normally this takes forever to do. So yeah, we'll build a mountain, and then we're going to have probably hills around the side here. And then hopefully try and get the backdrop. I'm pretty sure there's a... Let's get rid of all that. Backdrop. I don't know if it's in here, though. Where's the backdrop hidden? Buildings, shapes. I don't think... Is it MISC? There, it is in this file. Okay, so we do have a backdrop. I'm pretty sure this is pretty not good for us. It's pretty... not the right shape or anything, but we'll soon find out. Yeah, that locks off. So where's the water? So it feels like we'd have to raise it up. And also the map is way too small for their little square. But if we can somehow utilize that might be a good idea, because it helps break the horizon off, which kind of hurts the illusion of the game. But just having like those little bits does help. We'll think about that. Maybe that's something to do later on. But first, like I said, I want to sort the trees and stuff out. Well, I think that'll do. I don't think you need any more in this video. We've created a new map. We've shrunk it down for HD sort of readiness. We've imported some assets, so it's quite a lot to take in. If you'd like to follow along, do feel free to do these steps. Use the description and find all the tools that are needed. The only thing you got to buy is BeamNG, and obviously you need a PC, and then you can join in this high detailed fun. I am going to be hopefully in the next episode sorting out the roads, making sure they're ready to look good and apply to the map. And we're also going to have to sort out some trees and some more terrain tools, and maybe some more grass, layers of grass that we can use, just so we've got lots of variety of things to really input some detail. Because it's such a small map, I'm hoping we can keep the frames per second high, but still make a really beautiful looking thing for everyone to play on. And because it's such a small map, it should get the ball rolling. If this is your sort of thing, do feel free to jump over to my Patreon, and I will send you step by step each video of the map as it comes along. And then when it's finished, I guess we release it for free. That might be the best idea, I think. But if you want to get in it early doors, that's going to be your way. Do feel free to like and subscribe to the video. You can also become a member on my YouTube channel. Thank you, YouTube, for letting that be the thing. If you want to support me and help me turn this into more of a career than my real career, which is painting and decorating, putting lovely paint onto people's walls for them. Lovely. Keep it real, stay safe, and share that love. Bye-bye.